It's 4:20 somewhere, and right now that somewhere is right here. Hello, I'm Janae Burris.
And I'm Jake Browne. Welcome to the Cannabist Show, where we talk all things weed. Janae, how are you?
Great, how are you?
I'm excited we get to show everybody.
Just snuck up on me.
Yeah. I'm excited. We got a new set to show everybody.
Yeah.
That's coming later on in the show. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
We get to sit on some couches. Vince arranged a coffee table.
I know. I can't wait to take a moment to take in the view over there.
Don't you just feel like we're like the elder statesmen of the Cannabist Show at this point? Like, we picked out a coffee table.
We are certainly not the elder statesmen. Good Lord.
We have officially become like the cannabis power couple.
Oh, that's still you and Sam.
Oh, okay.
How was her birthday?
It was great. We had a great time. There was karaoke. Although this guy who's kind of, I won't say stalks me on Facebook, is like overly aggressive in liking my post.
But then you didn't find another word.
I think he's like overly aggressive in liking my post. Showed up at our karaoke spot and did my karaoke jam. And kind of sunned me on it too. It was amazing.
He was like,
oh yeah. I was just like, how do you do that?
Maybe
on
this
my
whole time he's only been following you so that he could one up you. He's like, I'm just gonna wait till he goes to karaoke. Ooh, just watching and waiting.
You jerk. How was your weekend? You do anything fun?
Survived Great American Bear Fest.
Ooh, you had a killer show though. I know you couldn't announce the lineup, but Ron Funches, the Sklar Brothers, Adam, Kate, and Holland.
It was really
many more
great.
Amazing comedians at Comedy Central.
A bunch of people were in town, and so they came through on our show. And Rack House, shout out to Rack House Brewery for doing a really fine job of making sure we could get good people in for the fest. They really cared. Rack House really likes funny people, so.
Good job. Thanks, Rack House. It's such a rare thing to find a brewery in this town that is willing to do comedy. There are just none of those shows out there. So thanks for being so bold.
You don't even know. Sometimes you don't get very supportive venue owners. They're just kind of like, they don't want to invest in you.
Right.
But Rack House does. They're like, let's keep making it better. What is it going to take to make it better? And you know the answer to that.
It's a really cool space. But the answer to that is just bring in a bunch of headliners and put them all on this show.
Yes. Yep.
Speaking of headliners, we do have an awesome DVD to give away this week, so stay tuned later in the show for Pot or Not. You may have won Grow House.
What?
Snoop Dogg's new straight-to-DVD movie about weed.
Oh, snap. Yo.
We have it in DVD and it's digital HD. I don't know anything else about this, but we'll be giving it out later.
We got to stop by the Goodwill, pick up a DVD player real quick for like $12, and then, it's on.
It's on. But right now it's on the Week in Weed. And let's start with CBD. And I'm not talking about cereal bumblebee disorder, where like a bowl of Cheerios, you can only exclaim, ooh!
Oh my God!
Just a little breakfast humor to get us going. Set the table with that. No, this week we're talking about a big week in cannabidiol, with Colorado's own Lucky's Market making the decision to carry the hemp-derived extract at 25 locations. Our own Alicia Wallace has the story of how the Kroger-backed brand went all in on enriched oils, topicals, and capsules, making this a huge rollout compared to the flop that was Target's flirtation with CBD products in the end of September. You may remember a story where they briefly offered online selections from CW Hemp. CW Hemp, of course, known for Charlotte's Web, but only for those products to disappear from the website, like one of our president's many deleted tweets. Lucky seems undeterred, however, though, with their director of apothecary, which is a real job, Cindy Wise, saying, quote, we're not afraid to be disruptive and to pave the path and be pioneers, unquote. The only location Wise may need to be concerned about is Bloomington, Indiana. Yes, they have an Indiana store, of course, but their police continue to cite stores carrying CBD products even after the state's Alcohol and Tobacco Commission issued a moratorium on arrests. They said, knock it off, you cops. While they've only come after 2 shops following that August 12th ceasefire, compared to about 60 beforehand, it's created uncertainty in the market, with Jeff Shelton, owner of Happy Days Smoke Shop, which definitely sells tobacco pipes, saying, quote, we definitely feel like at any time the rug could be pulled back from under us, unquote. Janae?
It's a mouthful, and a little bit of shade up in there today. Wow, interesting. I love how the weed reviewer was like, oh, that's a real job. It's like, come on. Wow, someone's gotten snooty. Okay.
Gotten.
You earned it, though. A Florida man who fought with flight attendants. Wait, I feel like I've heard this joke before. It always starts with a Florida man. Joseph Daniel Hudek V was just trying to honor the family name when he began fighting with flight attendants and passengers after trying to open the exit door on a Delta Air flight from Seattle to China. I want to fight every person that gets up and stands in the aisle as soon as the fasten your seatbelt sign goes off. Where are you going? We all have connections to catch. Wait your turn, okay? Hudek told the court that he had ingested edible marijuana before the flight and began feeling dramatically different once in the air. Oh, I have heard this joke before. Okay, yeah, Florida man takes edibles. Okay, take it easy with the edibles, novices. While over the Pacific Ocean and on their way to Beijing, Hudek began straight tripping and pulled a full Jackie Chan on attendants and passengers, bopping one over the head with a wine bottle. What the heck kind of weed was that? A magistrate judge released custody of Hudek to his mother so that he could return to Tampa, Florida, to a basement in Tampa, Florida, where he probably won't even be noticed. No one will even notice the erratic behavior. Hudek faces up to 20 years in prison for interfering with the flight crew and other criminal charges.
That's my favorite story of the year so far. You're over the Pacific Ocean. You're like, this door has got to go.
I gotta get out. I need some air.
Good God. All right, no more edibles on the plane for me.
Gosh.
Moving on to Washington, 85 words in the budget may determine the future of medical marijuana in this country, and they aren't all euphemisms Bernie Sanders has for the top 1%. Come on, he has at least 200. No, the item generating buzz is the Rohrabacher-Farr Amendment, which prevents the Justice Department from spending resources to prosecute MMJ patients and providers as long as they're operating legally under state guidelines. In tandem with the Cole Memo, which we covered at length in episode 17 this season, also called Taking a Pharmaceutical Approach to Cannabis Science, medical marijuana spread to over half of the U.S. But according to the Baltimore Sun, the House of Representatives is looking to discard the amendment because of pressures from the nation's foremost elf on a shelf, Attorney General Jeff Sessions. Boo. The Sun describes the Sessions lobbying effort as quote-unquote aggressive, with the AG writing, quote, the department must be in a position to use all laws available to combat the transnational drug organizations and dangerous drug traffickers who threaten American lives, unquote. It appears the Rohrabacher-Farr Amendment has bipartisan support if it makes it to the Senate, but that's a big if. Sarah Trumbull, Deputy Director of Social Policy and Politics at Third Way, lays out the worst-case scenario if it fails, noting this would give the Attorney General a blank check to go after medical marijuana, and literally nothing happens good when someone's given a blank check. I've seen all the movies. Janae?
No, gosh. I hope every time we boo that just a tear just jumps right out of his eye. And he's like, what's happening?
If I was any liquid in his eye, I would be trying to jump out.
He goes, it's dry.
That sounded real weird.
Hey there, Longmont. Welcome to the party. Woo. While its sister city, Denver, has had the privilege of being home to many medical and recreational dispensaries, our sweet baby girl Longmont has played coy and waited patiently for the opportunity to provide legal access to marijuana within its city walls. Makes me think of when I was a teen and my sister started dating. I was so jealous. I'd see her getting dressed up. Then there'd be a knock on the door, and a high school senior boy would be waiting there. And I'd watch thinking, I'm only 2.5 years younger. Why can't I go out and lose my virginity, too? I'm Longmont in this story. In a 4-3 split, Longmont City Council members voted to give final approval to lift its prohibitions against medical marijuana dispensaries selling marijuana for recreational use, clearing the way for up to 4 new retail businesses to sell marijuana within city limits. Hey, little sis, you'll get those numbers up soon. Worry not. This change comes despite objections from some Longmont citizens, like His Royal Highness Lon Stevens of Tuscany Court, who is quoted as saying, I can't imagine it boosts the city's image. I think that's what he sounds like. You're right, Lon. Wouldn't want to ruin Longmont's reputation for... Jake?
I've been to Longmont. There's some things happening.
What's their image and their reputation?
There's a really good torta truck.
Oh, Okay. Wouldn't want to ruin our torta
Number
image.
one on Yelp. Anything that's going on up there.
Yeah,
no, welcome to the club, Longmont.
Yeah, make some money.
Man, get paid.
Get yours. Get that paper, Longmont.
There's other weird stuff going on in Colorado. You got to check out the site. Wisconsin is going to go back to hemp farming. One of my favorite stories that we didn't get to cover. What else is on this laptop? And if you're in Colorado, go and read all of the different proposed changes to our regulations here. They're accepting public comment. It's time to get involved. The legislative session right around the corner. We usually don't like sessions around here, but this is one where you can go and see all the new proposed rule changes. It's interesting stuff, and it's about 200 pages. So, really dig in. Take a nice edible.
Just
don't get on a plane.
give us the Cliff's Notes.
Yeah, where's the Cliff's Notes?
Yeah, can you read it for us and just tell us?
Well, for more on this and all the stories from the weekend, we'd visit us online at thecannabist.co. Now let's go to a quick video on that CBD rollout we talked about early from Lucky's Market, and it was made by our own producer, Vince.